It's a very good afternoon once again, and thank you for joining us on our sunset safari here at Wild Earth. As you can see, I am sitting at a treehouse dam at the moment and just listening and looking out for anything that's going to be coming down to the waterhole, because it is a coolish day, not really that hot, but so far no luck, but we'll take a look. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me on Rusty we've got Odie. So thank you for joining as always. Just looking back into the water. So on a day like this, because there's not much sun, it's not really that hot, you'll find the mobility of these reptiles becomes a little bit slower, and they become more docile because they haven't really warmed up their body enough to get that mobility out of their bodies. But oh, he is looking, he is peering over. What do you see? Are you seeing something that we're not? I wonder what you are looking at. I don't see what that monitor is looking at.
Look at this. I'm not sure how long this sighting's going to last either, but there's a little baby rhino. Look at it with its mum. Oh, that's just too cute. Isn't that wonderful? With all the birds flying around her. There's a kudu in the background. And the lovely colour of the starlings flying around the little baby. They're both very weary. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. So they're very conscious of us, listening. They can obviously smell us. And the little one is taking its cue from Mum. And Mum is just slowly relaxing, being tended to by a red-billed oxpecker. But I'm not sure she wants to hang around us too much. The classic rhino baby in front maneuver of the white rhino. Which looks like a warthog. Off they go. That's very special. I don't think they're going to let us get closer, but let's just watch them go down the road, and I will try and make one more approach. Just see if we can't stay with them for a little bit longer. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get much closer than this. I think this will probably be our last view.
We have got a little bit of a challenge for you. We're up in the Northern Territory, and we found an egg. But we want you to try and guess what this egg belongs to. It looks like it's been partially buried in soil. That might have ruined the guessing game. And it's definitely not a bird egg, that's for sure. So, no need to guess, I suppose, because Mama is on her way out of the nest. I don't know where she's going to. She's disappearing out of the shade, so I think she probably wants a bit of sun wherever she wants to go. But this is an incredibly unusual situation. To find an active monitor lizard nest, wow. A first for me, a first for Igor, and I'm hoping a first for you as well, seeing a monitor lizard's egg. Wow, and she is huge. I want to go back to that egg, but have a look at the hole that she's come out of. She's dug a hole in the side of a termite mound. A really decent hole, and you can see she's been super active because she's been coming in and out. She's flattened that soil that she's dug out the side of the termite mound. There you can see her tail's busy scraping it as we speak. She's making more marks with that beautiful long tail. Now, if you look at those stripes on her tail, you can see that she is a water monitor, not a rock monitor lizard, but she's also got some markings on her face that would have given that away. But that egg is really what I'm interested in, because she has a few more eggs inside. And this one must have just accidentally rolled out. So monitor lizards are probably one of the more fascinating reptiles that we get out here. And I think especially because we don't really get to see them an awful lot. You know, when we get to see them up close and personal like this, and in such an intimate way with a nest, it's just too good. I can't even describe the emotions I'm feeling.
Sitting in a patch of shade. And it looks like we're not the only ones with that idea. It's a genius idea. Luckily, there are 2 patches of shades, because if there were only one, then we would be the ones in the sun. But here we have our lazy lions from this morning. And I really didn't anticipate that they would be here. I really thought we would just come back to hopefully find the carcass. They dragged it quite far into the thicket. I'm not sure we would even get a glimpse of it. And I really wanted to see what activity was happening around it in terms of jackals and other scavengers, aka hyenas. But the lions are still here. And what that's probably going to mean is that no brownies are going to come by. A spotty potentially might, but a brownie, I don't think so. What woke you up? Oh, she's just absolutely stunning. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Whatever woke her up is obviously not a big deal. And I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because it really is, but the lions here are just, they're really something else.
Great. We found these 3 lionesses not too far from where we saw them this morning. We did need to look around a little bit for them, but we found them on this termite mound, and definitely on a slightly elevated piece of land over here. So brings me to think that, of course, last night they moved a lot because we followed the spoor. They moved all around looking for any animals to hunt, and then they've come here this morning. There were impalas in the nearby area, but I think they were sort of at the end of the process, very tired, quite keen just to lie low, and it's very smart of them to lie on that termite mound. Now it is going to just bring them slightly off the ground. It's going to elevate them a bit more, and their view and eyesight, or their view, is going to be a lot better just being slightly elevated off the ground. They don't need to be on top of a mountain, no, just a small little heap of land like a termite mound, or how the topography of the land sort of just creates a little bit of a heap, and they like to climb on top there.
But Ntsumie is a young female, of course, coming to 2 years old. So she is slowly but surely becoming a mature female, but not as of yet. She's still got a good old year and a half before she becomes a adult female. But for now, she's on good old time, her own time, gap time. And she's on a gap year. So she's just wandering around this area as a nomadic cat. And then sooner or later, I'm sure she'll head into an area where she feels it is a good area for herself to set up a nice territory. Well, as you guys can see, Ntsumie finally got up. She's just saw something that's maybe moving around here in the thickets behind us. I did hear some grass rustling as well. So, but you can see she's just trying to see exactly what is making that noise. And she's got a perfect vantage point now, nicely elevated, so she can see exactly much further than we can. Plus, of course, they got fantastic eyesight. Now it's just getting to that time of the day where, of course, the light is disappearing, and this is when the leopards come out to play. But isn't she beautiful? Look at that. So I'm just trying to see exactly what she heard. Might be like maybe even a duiker or a steenbok, but it's difficult. But she's heard it, but she doesn't see it. There's a fly that is around there at the moment. Oh, but look at her. Look, she's just keeping an eye on it. She's trying to work out, is it worth it? No, maybe lie down rather. Oh, what a beautiful pose, isn't that stunning? And she's going to take that advantage, even if it's like a franklin or a guinea fowl, or even a scrubby that's moving around. She's going to show a lot of interest in that because, you know, they're very opportunistic at the moment. Yeah. No, just for keep her there, keep her there. All right, yeah. Okay, there's Molwati's just arrived here. Molwati just came in. Of course, she saw Molwati, the male leopard. Yeah. There. See. So, of course, the father has joined Ntsumie, but you can see how much bigger a male is compared to a female. Well, Ntsumie is quite small because she's still young. So, I don't know. So, unfortunately, Ntsumie bolted. She went straight north. So, he's going to come onto the road now in front of us. Of course, Molwati, we can't really get too close behind because he's not the most relaxed. But at night time, like now, he's not even looking at us. He's just going straight east. But I think maybe what happened now, he came all the way where, of course, James had him because we had his tracks there at Treehouse Dam. I'm sure he picked up on the scent of Ntsumie, and he just followed. And of course, we were sitting with Ntsumie, and Molwati bumped into us. So, of course, Molwati, if you don't know Molwati, he is our dominant male.
Tiggs, you say you had a fabulous day and learnt so much. I'm very pleased that you learnt so much, Tiggs. It's always nice when people learn and enjoy with us in the wilderness. That is, after all, the whole point of our jobs, and it makes it feel like we're doing something useful and worthwhile. Phew, what a day. Another lovely day in the Lowveld has come to an end. We will see you tomorrow at 06:30. Until then, stay safe and happy wherever you happen to be on planet Earth, be it afternoon, morning or evening. And thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Good night.